Raider Nation? Welcome to another episode of the Raider Nation Roll Call. As always, here at the Raider Nation Roll Call, we like to promote our family, booster clubs, content creators, super fans, businesses, and events. And today we're doing just that, promoting a great event that's coming to the Northern California area, the second annual barbecue and car show done by none other than the Black Hole Northern California and Northern Nevada chapters. Today, I have the pleasure of having Marlene, president of the Black Hole Reno chapter. Marlene, thank you for being here with us today. Thank you for taking your time. Thank you for organizing this event. You know, I went to your event last year. I had a blast. You know, everybody from the Black Hole was very open, very welcoming. You know, I had fun just hanging out, even though, you know, I was recording as well, but it was so much fun, Marlene. How are you today?
Thank you. I am good. Thank you. Thank you for that intro. Very nice. But
Yeah,
yes. I love you. I love you. I love your show. I'm glad that you were there last year. And this year we're hoping to make it really big. So let's put that out there. Let everybody know what they're gonna be
sure.
missing if they
For
don't
sure.
go.
So it's definitely going to be an amazing event. You know, you guys did so great last year, and that was your first time. So I know
Yes.
that this year is going to be bigger and better. There's a lot of good things in store. But before we get to the event, let's talk about you, because there's always a beginning to any story. And what I want to hear is how your story started in this Raider Nation lifestyle. How did you become a Raider fan?
I've always been a Raider fan because through my dad and my uncles. They're big Raider fans. But as I started growing up, I actually became more diehard than them. Um,
Mm,
so over the years, I just got, into it a whole lot more and started watching the games, and I was doing it on my own because I really never really went out because I got, into the relationship young, so I didn't really go nowhere, how the other. But, after a while, um, football just became like Raiders. It's always Raiders, Raiders, Raiders. So it started because of my dad and my uncles is how I got into it. And just over the years, I just became more diehard Raider. And it's family. It's my culture. It's the loyalty and pride. That why I stay a Raider.
right.
Raider Nation is six to you for life. So ever since my young days, that's how it's been going, and it
Wow,
will
that's
never
awesome.
leave.
That's awesome. And through that fandom, you became associated with the Black Hole. How did that happen?
Um, how I became associated with the black hole is one day I was actually talking to my sister, and I was already living out here in Reno, and I was watching a Raider game, and I was telling her like, man, I wish there was like a Raider club out here. I can go watch games with some people, because I was home by myself. And she said, hey, why don't you reach out to my roommate? And I've met her roommate before, none other than Cisco Ortega.
Cisco.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, I didn't know, he did anything like that. She goes, yeah, he's in this Raider club. She goes, I'll reach out to him. And I said, okay. And at that time, he was already in Vegas.
Mm,
So I think I met him in 2021, 22, somewhere
okay.
around there, 22. Yeah. And then he reached out to me and told me about that they had just opened up Black Hole out here in Reno. Yeah, so he hooked me up with the president at that time, who was Jim Cox. He was the one who started it here in Reno back in
Mm,
2020, so in pandemic. And it was kind of hard for him to like really promote because it's the pandemic.
right.
We couldn't really go anywhere do much.
Yes.
So
Right.
it was a small club. But my days and times didn't allow me to go to a lot of the games because I had to work. But I finally got to go to a couple of them, and they were such a fun group. Right then and there, when I met them the first time, I knew they were going to be my people. So, like about a year later, Jim was going to step down, but I didn't know about it. Cisco was in town for work by chance, and him and Jim invited me to go have dinner. So I went to go have dinner with them, and then they hit me with it. Like, hey, Jim is stepping down. Do you want to take over? We think you'd be really good at it. And I'm like, kind of, got me, like together. I was like, okay, so this is kind of like a setup, which was fun because it worked out because I love it. I accept it. I love what I'm doing. I love the group, the club. We're like family. We're family friendly. We all have respect for each other. We respect the places that we go to do our watch parties. We kind of let everybody know if you can join. We're a big family friendly. Bring everybody over. Because of that, Cisco being my sister's roommate is how it became TBH.
That's awesome.
TBH is just like part of my life, just like the Raider Nation. It's and Cisco is such a good person to go to talk to about anything that I need help with. And he helped me throughout the beginning a lot. I wanted to make sure I was doing what I was doing right, and anything I did, I'd always go to him. He was a really good guy. But because of him is why I'm the Black Hole.
Wow. And how many members do you have in your particular chapter?
Well, in my particular chapter, it's like 33, but we always get a good, we always get a good, handful of 12 to maybe 16 people that show up. You know how that goes.
Right. Yeah.
Not everybody's always available. But
right.
And it's growing little by little. We're growing. So it's good, awesome. Especially with our new venue that we're at, our new watch party location. Very family friendly. They're really good to us. Very nice people there that take care of us.
That is great. That's always good to hear, especially from areas that are, not so close or don't have the opportunity to attend a lot of games, that there's large enough groups that still get together, and support the team from a distance, have a good time, bring that Raider Nation vibe and allow Raider fans wherever they are to enjoy themselves in a Raider atmosphere. Obviously It's not a tailgate, but it's the closest thing that we can have from a distance. Right. So that's very commendable that you're able to do this in Reno and in the surrounding areas, and I definitely will support anything and everything that you guys do, because anything that's positive for the Raider Nation, I'm all for it. And you guys definitely are showing some major positive activities for the Raider Nation. So, I'm behind you 100% in anything that you guys do.
We appreciate you so much.
But yeah, I definitely love what you guys are doing. Like last year when you reached out to me about the car show and barbecue that you guys did in Richmond, I was like, wow, that's cool, because now it wasn't only your chapter doing it, but it was 7 chapters, right? If I'm not mistaken.
It was 7 chapters at the time, last year.
7 chapters of the Black Hole. So it was Northern California chapters, it was Northern Nevada chapters. How did that come to be? Like, because I know it's pretty difficult to be able to coordinate with so many different groups. How did you guys go about that?
So with the whole barbecue, how that happened was one day I went over to Seattle, the Northwest Black Hole barbecue that they have every year. So I went over there. I went with my brother Raider Will from Silver and Black podcast, and we joined them for theirs, to support them. And I was looking around like, that's pretty cool that they got people coming out supporting, Raider Nation barbecue. And then when I got back home, I'm like, we should try to do that here at home. So Lovelock had reached out to me, and he said, hey, we should do a barbecue together. And I said, as a matter of fact, I was actually been thinking about that. I said, we should do something similar to what Northwest did. So I said, let me call Sacramento, because Sacramento is not far, it's only 2 hours from us. I said, let's see if they want to get involved, because I'm like, we got 3 chapters, they could do 3 too. So then after I reached out to Sacramento was, he agreed right away, he was down for it. And so as we're thinking of names, we come up with the NorCal, Northern Nevada annual barbecue. And I'm like, wait a minute, wait, we can't just have Sacramento, but it's going to be NorCal. We got to get the other NorCal chapters in. So I said, let me call them up and let me, talk to them and see if they want to join us. So I did. I reached out to the NorCal chapter. So I reached out to Lake County, who is Richie Dawson, who's the president over there. And from the get-go, I explained to them like what we should do and how we should present this barbecue. And he went for it, so he was down. And then I spoke to Danny, who was the president at the time of the East Bay chapter, which is now called the Bay Area chapter, and explained the whole situation to him too. He said yes. Then I went to Central Valley, is Austin Garcia, the president over there, explained it to him. He was down. And then Central Coast, who was Veronica, Great View, she was down. So, but I did explain to them from the beginning, like, hey, this is going to be a community barbecue. Let's, give back to the communities, in our areas, and let's offer, a complimentary barbecue, bringing everybody together, helping the community, and just feed everybody and have a good time. Go for this, and everybody was like, yeah, I'm down. Bay Area got East Bay Area got kicked first because we did a little wheelie thing, put the chapters in there, and they got picked. Right. So that's why we did Richmond. Danny decided to throw in a car show, because I said, this is our chapter. Each chapter that gets picked, it's your barbecue. So, let's keep it a barbecue. But if you want to add anything to it, just let me know so we can, coordinate and make this work. So he's like, I'm going to throw a car show in it. And I said, okay, let's do a car show then. So that's how the car show part came about. So as you know, that went so well. There was a lot of people, a lot of nice cars.
Very
we've
nice.
got a few vendors. I think this year we're going to have more vendors though. But yeah, it turned out so well. I had all chapters there. We did a bunch of raffles. It was just a great event. I'm glad the way it came out. We had a king come out and do the Raider O, which was cool. We had quite a few people that traveled from afar as well. Also nearby. That's how the NorCal Northern Bad came out. And it was more about just giving back to the community and just bringing the nation together, because that's during our off season time.
Right.
We want to keep busy. We still want to have fun and hang out, and we miss our friends, that we meet as we go through this journey with the Raider Nation. And I've met a lot of great people, and I don't want to miss out on anything on a daily, I want to keep in touch.
Right.
So doing this barbecue really helps out with that and keeping everybody connected. Well, we're pretty glad that we started this thing, because it's turning out to something really big this year. I did not expect it, but I'm excited.
No, it's a very, very fun time. Anytime the Raider Nation gets together, you know it's going to be a party. It's going to be a good time.
Definitely.
But when there's so many entities that come together to do this, it just makes it even more special, because it's not just the event itself, but just also showing the level of camaraderie and the level of family that the Raider Nation has, even in the off season, makes it even more special, at least in my eyes. Because when I traveled up to Richmond last year, I didn't know what to expect. I thought we were just gonna be hanging out and just conversing and doing what we do. But driving in, seeing the car show, seeing all the vendors, the food, the drink.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really cool. It was more than I expected, and it was a lot of fun. And like I mentioned, everybody that was there, was just so welcoming, so friendly. It seemed, I tell this to everybody, it seemed like I lived in Northern California, like I knew everybody over there, because that's just the way it felt. It felt like a family reunion.
Yeah, anywhere you go when you're traveling to these, somebody, and it's like you live there. It's like you become part of it.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's funny how like our relationship started. You had mentioned that you were going to Disneyland, and I think you had seen a shirt that I had made, and that's all it took. Just like, hey, I got you. let's do this, and that's how our friendship started. And now, whenever we get a chance to see each other, you hang out, and and that's the beautiful thing about the Raider Nation. It doesn't matter the distance, the time. It's very special anytime that we're able to get together, and events like this make it possible to do
Right.
it even in the off season.
Right. Keep that friendship going and fresh.
But
And
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's so amazing. So
Right.
Marlene, for this year, last year was Northern California. Now this year's in Northern Nevada. It's in your neck of the woods.
Yes.
What's happening over there? Talk to us about that.
So we're having our barbecue. Well, it's a 3-day event again. So we're always going to present it as a 3-day event. We're going to do the meet and greet the first night. We're going to do like a pre-blackout meet up the second night. And then the final day will be the main event. So if you're coming down for all 3 events, Thursday is going to be our meet and greet. We're going to do that out at South 40. It's family friendly. Everything we do is going to be family friendly because if you're coming out of town, you got to bring kids. People can't afford babysitters. So I always want it to be family friendly. Don't want to leave no kids out because those are our future generation Raider Nations, right?
Right.
So we got to make sure they're involved. So Thursday we're doing that at the South 40 games for the kids. I've already told them to expect quite a few of us. I mean, it's Thursday, so we're not going to have a big crowd probably like Friday.
Mhm.
Thursday's just kind of like, hey, let's meet those that we see online a lot, often more than in person, and get to know everybody. So break the ice little by little up to the main event.
Right.
So that'll happen at 7 p.m. I'll give you all that info. You could actually put it out there.
Yeah,
And
I'll
then,
put it up.
yeah. And then we have Friday, the 29th, we have our shuttle tour. So that's going to start off. We'll be meeting up at the GSR, but we got some bands ahead of time. So if anybody's going to need wherever they're staying at, they need to get picked up. We are going to do a complimentary shuttle and pick them up from their
Wow.
room or home or wherever they're staying. Friends, we'll pick them up. We just gotta arrange it. We gotta time wise because we're supposed
Right.
to all be leaving from GSR at 10 a.m. So anybody out there that's coming for our tour, if you're gonna need a ride, hit me up. Let me know so we can arrange it for you guys. And that tour is going to take us to South Lake Tahoe. South Lake Tahoe, we're going to pretty much, I really want to do this Tiki Beach. And I reached out to them last year and they're like, yeah, bring your people because it's literally on the beach. And it would have been a good big photo op for the group. But I reached out to them recently and they are closed for it because they're remodeling. I'm like, no way. Yeah. Yeah. So that actually just gives us more time at Heavenly Village, which has so much to do. The casinos are like a block away. If anybody wants to go to like Cabo Wabo, which is pretty cool. And if they just want to go check out the casinos, they're just walking distance from the Heavenly Village. And also, we're doing it's an optional. So if they want to do it, they pay for it. It's the gondola ride. It's the scenic ride going up to, I don't know if you've ever been to Tahoe, but it takes you all the way up to the top of the mountain, which has a restaurant and bar. Yeah,
cool.
So we'll be doing that, and we're going to take a big old group photo. And those who can't do it, they will be down at the base with, I'm not sure who's not going yet. Somebody in the chapter, one of our chapters, one of the presidents will be down there leading the group, and they're going to be doing their thing. They're going to be making it live down at the base while we're up in the base. So, and then once we all gather before the end, before we leave, we'll do a big old huge Raider group photo. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's what's going on Friday. And then after Tahoe, when we leave Tahoe, we're going to be going to Virginia City. Virginia City, I don't know if you know Bonanza, but that's where, Bonanza. So we're going to be going, so that's where we're going to be going to Virginia City.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I've already arranged with one of the places out there, one of the longest standing bars that has been there for years. They're going to make room for us. They're going to make it because parking's awful there because it's so small, but it's such a beautiful little town to visit. And they're going to make room for all of our vans so we can come in and they're going to, talk to us about their bar and whatnot. So, and they can also walk around because Virginia City's not that big at all, so you can see like everything in an hour. You can go
Hmm.
visit other stores. It's pretty cool. So we'll be doing that before we actually head back. And we intend to be back to GSR probably, I'm hoping by 4:30 the latest. And then later on, I want to give people time to rest up. Later on, after that, we will go at 7 p.m. meet up at our watch party location, the Black Hole Reno chapter. The watch party is at Need the Speed, and they've blocked off the outdoor patio for us. And
Nice.
yeah, so that is where our biggest group is going to be.
Hmm.
I've already got pretty much confirmed about 150 that will be there, but it could be more because
Wow.
not everybody will tell you we're RSVP,
Right.
right? So I am going to have complimentary appetizers just to, have for people that, didn't have time to grab something to eat or something. So if they want to get some appetizers, I'll have some complimentary appetizers there for everybody. But once they're gone, they're gone. You're going to have to buy food. But
Right. No. Yeah.
yeah, so that is our night for Friday. And then Saturday is
Hmm.
the big event. So we'll be out there early setting up. Um, Vendors will be checking in at 10. We got a DJ. We got live local artists from here in Reno. Slaughter Sesh music. He's going to be singing a couple jams for us. Honey MX her as well. She'll be singing with her featured artists as well. So we got, the DJ, some live music. We got Wally's merch is coming out. We got coffee trucks that will be there. We got a tacos muffos from Reno here. A taco truck will be out there. And our barbecue will start at 12:30, so it'll go from 12:30 to 2. Uh, um, the RSVPs, we'll have to go ahead and scan their ticket just so we know that they get RSVP so they can get some food. Because, I did it for head count. I just want to make sure that whoever RSVPs, gets to eat. So we got that. We got games for the kids. We got games for the adults. We've got the car show. So we have our top 25. We have our Black Hole choice. We have our furthest driven choice and people's choice. So
Very nice.
we're hoping to see a really good turnout for everything here. I just hope that everybody comes out and comes and enjoys and have some fun with us. Uh, it's not just Raider Nation because we all have divided families, so we know other
Of course.
fans are more than welcome to come. We don't want to keep anybody out. So all fans, everybody's welcome, family friendly. Bring your mom, your dad, your grandpa, the babies, everybody.
Wow. That's it. It sounds like it's going to be a great event, and it hasn't even happened yet. And I have to commend you because you're not just doing a barbecue and a car show. You are doing so much more. You guys are going above and beyond because Thursday, Friday, and Saturday,
Yeah,
and the complimentary shuttles and taking individuals to these places that they probably wouldn't go or have a clue to go to if they're not from the area. So,
right. And
that is definitely okay.
right. And that is what our intention is to when we have these barbecues, people that are visiting your city that you're doing the barbecue at, we want them to visit and see what your city's about,
Right.
and you guys are coming from far, you're spending a lot of money, so it's only fair to offer a free complimentary shuttle, I mean, uh, being sober 2 years, I don't mind driving, I would love to help anybody out that needs help, because if you need to get picked up from the airport, I'm going to be off work. Let me know. I'll pick you up. We've got some other chapter presidents that are willing to pick people up. So, yeah, we're there. If you guys need us, just let us know. And
Yeah,
not
that
only
is
that, we're not only giving back to our barbecue for the community, but we're also doing raffles to donate to 2 nonprofits here
mm,
locally in Nevada. One of them is going to be the Eddie House. And what they do is they help runaway teens. They give them some resources. They try to get them off the streets. So we want to help donate and help them do that for our teens out here, because we want to keep them off the drugs, off the streets,
right.
safe. So we want to help them do that for the teens. The second one is called Chapitos Boxing Gym. They are located here in Reno on Moana. The owner is a former pro boxer of Reno, and he is now helping kids, learn how to box. And they just teach them like box and, try to get to where they want to, if they want to, become professional. He's really good with kids. They got a really great gym. They offer women's gym, like some women don't like to go, mix, so they want to be with women. So they offer a women's only gym, but they also do a lot for the community. They are great people out there that help out the young and the old as well. So everybody's invited. So they should check them
That is
out if
so
they're
awesome.
looking for something, they help out like elderly that have like medical issues too, because, sometimes you need to be physical. So they help them out
Right.
with that. Yeah. So they got like a way to help them. But yeah, so we'll be donating to them too. So we got raffles that a portion of our proceeds will go to them.
So it's not just you guys are doing this great event, but you guys are also helping financially local community organizations.
Yes.
If you guys haven't earned your wings to heaven, I don't know what else you need to do, in order to get up in there, because you guys are definitely going above and beyond. And it is an honor and a pleasure to be able to help in this small way, to let the Raider Nation know of what the Black Hole Northern California, Northern Nevada chapters are doing. And can you let everybody know what the dates are again?
Yes, so it's going to be our 3-day event starts on May 28th and ends on the 30th for the main event. So May 28th through the 30th, that's when we're going to start
All right.
on the 28th, starts at 7 p.m.
That's awesome. And Marlene, how could individuals that are interested in going, who should they reach out to
They
for
could reach
information?
out to our Facebook page, the Black Hole Reno Sparks chapter. They could reach out to us on Instagram, the Black Hole Reno Nevada chapter. They could DM me on Facebook, Marlene Sanchez. Any one of us too. They could reach out to any of the chapters, the Central Valley, TBH Central Valley, Lovelock, Bay Area, Lake County. We are down to 6 chapters this year though. So we've only got 6 chapters as of this year, possibly going forth. So those are the chapters they can reach out to if they want to
Okay.
have any other questions or want to reach out to and ask anything. Just let us know.
That's great. So Raider Nation, remember, you have, from the point that we're recording, you're probably like 3 weeks away. So please start making your plans. Please get in contact with them. If you have any questions, if you're going to RSVP, if you need information on hotels, travel, get in contact with them. That way you can go partake, have a good time, create more memories with the Raider Nation, as we all love to do. And again, Marlene, I commend you and the rest of the Black Hole chapters for doing what you're doing. It's definitely seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. You guys are going above and beyond. And I hope this continues for many years to come, because
It'll
we
only
need
get
this.
better and better.
Yes. Because
At the
until
end of
our team, go ahead.
the end of the day, Raider Nation is family. The barbecue, the chapters, the friendships, it's all bigger than football. We do this for family.
Yeah. And until our team turns it around, this is probably the only positive thing we have within the Raider Nation that keeps us going.
To look forward to, yes.
Yeah, most definitely. So Raider Nation, again, reach out to the Northern California, Northern Nevada chapters of the Black Hole for more information. And if you guys are going, have a good time for me, because I unfortunately can't go this year, but I will most definitely try to make it to next year's. Start planning it now, because we got to save those dollars and cents, because it's getting pretty pricey here in California. So
Yeah.
but
Well,
again, Marlene,
it might be closer for you next year, so just keep an eye out. We will be
Let's hope.
announcing that next year's barbecue. We'll be announcing at this year's barbecue where it'll be next year, like we did last year.
Nice.
Yeah. So
Nice. Well, let's hope it's right down the road, because if it is, I will be there for sure.
Sounds good. We're gonna
For
miss you
sure.
this year, though.
Yeah. Hey, but you have a good time, and I know it's going to be a fantastic event.
Well, thank you for having me. I really appreciate everything
Of
you do
course.
for the nation
Of course.
worldwide.
Anything I could do. All right, Raider Nation. So again, reach out to Marlene, the rest of the Black Hole chapters, and don't forget to be in tune here for the Raider Nation Roll Call, Stogie Nation, as we're doing events. We're doing Stogie Nation tour, Violator and myself at different cigar lounges in Southern California. Raider Nation's Weekly Wire coming back soon. Just waiting for more news, Raider news to pop up to give to you guys. And if you guys have any events, have anything coming up, please let me know. I would like to help in any which way I can. May it be promotion or whatever, just let me know. Because remember that everything we do is for the nation, by the nation.